Thank you. It was a great testimonial of great experience. It does illustrate what I've said at the beginning of the sessions this afternoon with the state of the market. The transformation of the demand for European-based native cloud provider for sovereignty is growing very fast. And to support this opportunity to grow for extra large projects, it's clear that we need to reinforce and develop more the connection to the complete ecosystem. We have cloud providers, sovereign partners, great, but we need also system integrator and MSPs. And this is why I'm pleased to introduce for this session Raphael Palma and Thierry Luc from Accenture and Sopra Steria to have a panel discussion about how system integrators and MSP can play a role as key enabler of this strategic transformation. So thank you. Have a seat. Okay, so maybe as a starting point, Rafa, if you could introduce yourself, and Accenture, I think people know who is Accenture? Yes? Okay, but at least a few words and introduce yourself, Rafa.
No, first, thank you for the invitation. So I'm Rafa Palma and look after the business development of infrastructure services in EMEA. So all what is related with sovereign cloud is a hot topic in my daily work.
Super. And the sovereign cloud is a big part of Accenture now in terms of strategic development?
Definitely. So, I mean, sovereign cloud, I mean, in the last year has been increased the interest of our clients. I mean, many years ago it was just, let's say, an idea, some, let's say, risk at the very, let's say, blur, but now, let's say, it's more clear the different concerns and the different risks that our clients need to face. No? I think I have to say that this all started with, you know, more in the regulation part and in the sovereignty for, let's say, systemic companies, but now it's increasing for the rest of the organization. Because in general, to have sovereignties over your process, data processing and your data is a key, is a fundamental thing in your business. No? So have control about not only to fulfill the regulation, that of course we all need to fulfill this regulation, but have control about privacy and security and avoid, let's say, disruption on your business or lost reputation because you lost personal information, and you have control of this. And to be, so to speak, to be a little bit more paranoid and don't trust, and instead of trust, it's verify. No? So verify that all the process, the operating model, everything is working there. No? There are other aspects that are very in line with your presentation at the beginning about vendor lock-in as well. So how I can deal with, sorry to say that, but it's an oligopoly of three, 4 companies that, of course, they bring a lot of innovation, a lot of scalability, but at the end it's an oligopoly that you are, I mean, you are your soul is in their hands, basically. The other point is the cost efficiency, because cost efficiency is something that is quite, I mean, we tend to think that the whole public cloud, etc., have a business case, but at the end of the day, the devil is in the details, and you need to have this kind of tiring as the example, the example that we saw, to see what is needed to be on-prem or what is needed to be on public. No? And the last is innovation that you talk about, and innovation, of course, you have a lot of innovation from hyperscalers, but now it's increasing the whole innovation, a more decentralized innovation, especially for the open source community. So and to have access to this, and we see this now in the, let's say, artificial intelligence space and all the Gen AI space, we see that there are two words. One is the centralized. For example, everybody's doing POCs with OpenAI. But in the other side, in parallel, there is a lot of organization working on decentralized Gen AI with large models like Llama, etc., to be on-prem and to get all the data protected in your system. So in a nutshell, these are, let's say, the different topics that we are working with our clients.
Thank you. So we see Accenture, it's great as completely engaged to help the transformation of this sovereign cloud journey for big client, for end client in Europe. I'm pleased also to announce that Accenture is also a sovereign partner now in Benelux, and we will have a session with Hans, who is in the room this week, and I will be pleased to join. But today we are focusing most on the part which is the system integrator and MSP. And I'm pleased to welcome now the second big partner that we have in Europe for, and specifically in France with Sopra, Steria, and Thierry. If you could introduce yourself and introduce Sopra, Steria.
So first of all, to introduce Sopra Steria, we are a SI company. I would like to say probably a European SI company. This is this is approximately 60,000 people over Europe. We are doing two types of business. We are doing software development for banking, for HR, and for real estate. And we are doing as well SI type of business, from consulting to application development, application maintenance, as well as infrastructure and cyber security. So what we see around sovereign cloud, first of all, within Sopra Steria, we started on cloud, I would like to say probably in 2013, so some time ago, I would like to say. Then we move quickly together with hyperscaler. We follow the way hyperscaler are developing their service. And then if you take a look on the type of customer we are addressing, probably between 50 and 60% of our customers are in the public sector domain, as well as in France what we call the vital importance operator, which are in fact people like power, energy, or like transport and regulation. So moving to such kind of customer and working with them, at one point of time they realize, probably over the past 2 years, that looking, as it has been explained by Rafa, together with GAFAM and such kind of player will introduce some significant risk around their data. This is the reason why we decided to work strongly around sovereignty. We take the decision not to invest in our data center and to build some specific capabilities in terms of infrastructure, but we decided to work together with partners, and this is why, like OVH or like other partners in Europe, in order to be able to build an ecosystem, because we are convinced that sovereign cloud, it's not only, at least comparing to what hyperscaler are investing and putting in terms of money, it's not a story of investing in one company, but really building an ecosystem. So this is really where we are today, and from my side, I'm Thierry Luc, so I'm CTO of the infrastructure and cyber security business within Sopra Steria. Super.
And I don't know if it's the case in your discussion, but I'm used to get some challenges when we say, I have a big question and it's a dilemma. Do I need to go for trusted platform, sovereign, or do I need to go for innovation? And our solution and our value proposition is what it is. You need to do both, and it's an end. You need to get the best sovereign partner, and you need to get capability to do the best innovation. It's no longer a choice of a dilemma, it's an end. So could you please elaborate how you deal with an innovation agenda when it goes to a sovereign partner?
Yeah, if I may. The whole innovation agenda is, as I said at the beginning, no? So now there is a huge movement to work in, let's say, independent technologies and open source. No? And you see this basically, for example, in the architecture. No? And for example, even you have a huge amount of workloads in hyperscaler, the recommendation always is to have an architecture, let's say, an architecture that you can control. So then you avoid, or at least you can go out fast to another hyperscaler because you control your architecture. No? And this, let's say, infuse a lot of innovation in the company. First of all, because they are, let's say, the driver of the destiny, and they get the benefits of all other organizations around the world to work with that. No? And so this, for example, you can see this in the GenAI now, the GenAI stuff. No? That, for example, we have seen a lot of evolution for example, with OpenAI, but now we are seeing some other models that actually can use less resources because you need to work on how to spend less and to be more efficient. And so you generate new ways of learning, and you can cut by half, by 25% the amount of resources that you need. So all this mentality to have open source environment, an in-source that you can, an in-source environment as well that you can leverage all the knowledge that you have around the organization, it gives you independence for one side and this culture of innovation.
And what about Sopra for the innovation agenda? I've heard that you have invested and you have a framework. Maybe this is the next, second slide.
Yeah. So I think this is one slide I presented last year, just to give you an idea regarding what we have done over the past year. So we build, as I explained, a platform together with OVH, and we call it a trusted digital platform, which is a platform on which of it we started to innovate by bringing additional component on top of an OVH and a VMware environment, which was an HPC from OVH. It will be explained, I think, a little bit later. But in fact, what we have done is that we looking at the type of business we are doing with developers. Within Sopra Steria, we have 1,000 of developers looking every time for innovation, and they want to find the similar type of services in a sovereign platform as what they have in a hyperscaler platform. So we build containerization on top of it in order to have, in order to be able to offer such kind of services for developers. We build as well platform services like databases, like all type of innovation a developer can find. And I can tell you that a developer is quite a little bit imaginative regarding what they want to have in a platform. So that's really where we build our innovation. Today, the main topic that it has been explained by Rafa is AI. So that's the key topic. And this is where we are building a joint ecosystem with companies like VMware as well as with OVH in order to be able to build such kind of roadmap and to have additional component we can offer to developer. Offer to developer is one point, but also we need to know that this component could be also industrialized, standardized in order to offer a fully managed service platform, and this is what we are doing.
Okay, so good news, we can both secure in a sovereign cloud and innovate. So it's no longer a dilemma, it's an end confirmation, so thank you. Now, when you engage for large clients. We are talking, and I was showing some data points at the beginning of the afternoon. We are touching 10 million, 20 million, 40 million a year of engagement from end client to European public cloud, sovereign cloud. It's very sizable. What kind of challenges these clients have locally when they call you? Is it complexity? Is it skills? Is it they are lost vis-à-vis regulation? What kind of challenges are facing the most?
Yeah, well, there are many. And if I had to summarize, it's complexity over simplification. Of course, you can be seduced to have everything, just one contract, just one technology, so you get everything there, so you have a fast time to market, and it's good. And I'm not saying that it's not the right choice. Actually, I think it's good to have different solutions for the different tier of your organization. But if we double click on this complication, one thing is to choose the right solutions. So there are too many technologies now, and of course there are leaders as your company, but there are too many points that you need to fulfill and to solve. That is already solved in the other part of the equation. So it's something that you need to deal. The other is talent. So it's to get the talent to do that, not to support. Regulations. I mean, every year we have more regulations. We need to fulfill. Of course, we are in a European market. We need to fulfill that. But again, it's something that you need to deal with, no? And the other is the, let's say, responsibility, because if you have different components of your architecture, you need to make sure that you have you don't have gaps in the liability of the services.
Okay, very clear. Do you see some equivalent challenges or some others?
Yeah, and I would like to add probably that the devil is in the detail. When you start to think about regulation, because when you think about solution like disconnected container orchestration, you need to go deep in detail in order to be able to get some consultancy to your end customer. But we really see exactly the same story, and this is also the reason why we build this ecosystem in order to have this operational for our customer.
A good point that I totally share is the value of the networking, because the non-invented ear syndrome on sovereignty, it should not be a blocking point, because we have a lot of experience with your companies and other companies we have seen on the field, and we can facilitate and share how you have been able to address some of the key issues that your clients are facing. So maybe it's time to talk about use case. Rafa, could you share with us a use case?
Sure. So I think, one thing that, examples to deal with these complications, etc., in general, the answer is in the hyper-automation. So if you can hyper-automate, now the infrastructure is an infrastructure as a code, so you can deploy everything. So we currently have architecture or platforms, currently, for example, with one of the biggest retail banking in the world, their core business, their core banking, actually we are helping them to put in an on-prem cloud. And I wanted to remark that it's still a cloud, because they have sufficient economies of scale to get in and go up and go down, and they have all, let's say, the control as cloud has, no? And they have the benefits for one side of the whole, let's say, flexibility, and in the other side they have the control of the information and the data that they have, and you know, banking is a very regulated business, so it's something that is quite important.
No, it's a very, very good use case. Yes, banks, very strong criteria and requirement for confidential data to secure, and a lot of regulation. We need to be compliant, so it's a permanent.
I'm not saying that this, for example, in this particular client, they are using public cloud, hyperscalers. But they have very clear the processes and the data that is what in one layer of the onion and what is on-prem.
Okay, very good. So maybe, Thierry, if it's okay, for the use case you want to share, we could ask OVH to come on stage, with Laurent. Thank you.
Probably just to start with the use case, and then I will introduce Laurent. So on the use case, let's take probably two use cases. One on power regulation organization in France who want to share power data between the different government organizations in France. So you can imagine that this is quite strategic and quite critical in terms of data sovereignty. So we build together with OVH such kind of platform. We are also adding new component like SAP in a sovereign environment, because OVH has a very strong SAP solution on sovereign cloud. And this is, I think, the right moment to present Laurent and to ask him if we can present what we are doing together and what is the value of having such kind of ecosystem.
Thank you, Thierry, and hi to everyone. Yes, as OVHcloud, we are in fact a bit the flagship in Europe regarding sovereignty. And the first thing that I want to come back is we have all an history, we have all a language. And from this history, in fact, we are building, in fact, a bit differently, maybe, a bit more, not so directly, a cloud. And for us, it's more sovereignty equal freedom. This is why we have a baseline, which is innovation for freedom. But innovation is not something that is not accessible. If you want to innovate, that Sopra is doing, that everyone around here are really engaging, in fact, the innovation. They are building, in fact, the future. And when we are speaking about innovation, we are speaking more about as a service. Okay, when we are speaking about security, when we are speaking about compliance, it's not so sexy. It's not really the part that we speak for innovation. And innovation is more the new use case, the new startup that is building, in fact, the future. And in fact, the real thing that we see on our side and that we are building also with Sopra, Steria, is the fact that everyone is building, in fact, the future. And even if you don't have something from someone, you can build by yourself. And this is exactly that Sopra build, and that is providing to many customers for different use cases in France, but not only in France, in other countries. If I go to OVHcloud, we can see also that we have customers not only in France, that we have customers, for example, from Germany, that are building solutions based on VMware, on OVHcloud, qualified OVHcloud, which is really the transition that we are living. Because we are moving, in fact, to a new solutions that everyone are requesting regarding our history.
Very clear. Other use case,
Yeah, we got other use case as well with the French government who want to open a service around invoicing for all companies which are dealing with the government. And we build some on top as well as on OVH and a containerization solution. We'll build some chatbot and voice bot component which are accessible to the end user using the platform in order for them to
with all data staying in France.
Yeah, all data staying in France, operated by Sopra Steria in France, and co-engineering between OVH and ourselves.
Excellent. Maybe I take care of timing. If you have maybe a couple of questions for both Accenture Alpha, Thierry from Sopra, OVH. Please, we can take a few questions.
If not, yes.
It's because it's crystal clear. No? So I have one question. you are all facing the question of scalability, and the word scalability came a couple of times. Have you heard about some interests of clients who would like to consider a distributed approach with maybe 2 cloud providers, sovereign partner? Is it something that you have already discussed with clients who would like to consider that it's the same stack, it's the same standard foundation? Why not taking a distributed approach to balance?
No, definitely. I mean, the world is hybrid and is multi-cloud. And when we said multi-cloud, is a cloud with different partners and with your own cloud as well. So it has to be, and it has to be, let's say, seamless between one border and the other. No? And this is where it's fundamental to have a common platform to manage all the resources that you have.
Excellent. And
yeah,
Thierry?
We see it mainly at the PaaS layer, I would like to say, where we have a customer who are asking us to look after managing a private cloud and then move part of the workload from the private cloud to a sovereign cloud or even to a public cloud. So that's really the use case we see right now. I would like to say this use case is accelerating over the past 18 months. And this is really a trend we see over the market.
Okay, very good.
As Thierry says, the devil is in the details. So if you can estimate the business case and with the right tiering, you actually can trim the cost.
Okay. No last question? I think we are sharp on time, so I would like to thank you very much.
Thank you very much,
Laurent.
Laurent.
It was great.
Super.
Super.